Welcome to Integrative Mystic. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Anne Vivian speaking, and I can't wait to share this week's interview with you. I have a fantasy novelist on the show, a young adult fantasy novelist, Billie Kowalewski. I'm hoping I'm saying her name correctly.
That's
So,
fine.
Billy's going to correctly say her name in a minute, but I'm excited to share with you this interview. We're going to talk about this fantastic author's book in today's show, Our Lives in Between. And I just want to remind you, you can find this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, mindbodyspirit.fm. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, go to my YouTube channel if you want to see the video, Creative Psyche Studio. Leave a comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And as usual, I want to invite you into this space. Feel your body in this moment as a physical expression of divine love. Feel the 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional existence and energies flowing around you. You are in this dimension and more. We are integrative mystics. So welcome to the show. Connecting with your heart, connecting with my heart, connecting with Billy's heart. So as usual, we're going to have this fantastic, riveting, exciting interview. We're going to laugh, we're going to cry. All right, maybe not cry. We're going to get into it. Then after the interview, I will pull a few cards for the week ahead. So that's how today's show is going to go. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest, Billie, whose name I butchered, Kowalewski. Billie Kowalewski, she started writing in 2010, and she's always had a wild imagination and spent her childhood dreaming up stories. She grew up in a small town along the Connecticut shoreline. She enjoys listening to pretty much anything that rocks, like 80s hair bands, metal, etc. She also has a gift for finding the strangest movies and shows ever, according to her children, and loves spending time with her family. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our guest, Billie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Billie, say your name correctly for me.
It is Billie Kowalewski.
All right, so I did say it pretty much
Yeah,
correctly.
it's all right. And nobody gets it right on the first try, and I'm okay with that, unless they actually have my last name. But even them, like my mother, my father, he said Kowalewski. My mother said Kowalewski, which is like the Russian version of it. So it doesn't really matter.
I like Kowalewski. That W is
I
it's got
think
a little punctuation.
I think it's supposed to be pronounced as a V, but I'm not sure.
But who's going to do that? Yeah, when they're
Some
reading it,
people.
and then you have to correct them. Okay, yeah. I like both.
Thank you.
So, Billie, first of all, did you feel this eclipse energy? If you're tuning in after we recorded this show maybe a few weeks or months in advance, we're recording the show right after the Pisces partial lunar eclipse. Did you feel that energy?
Oh yeah, it was crazy this week. There's
Yeah,
been so much change going around me right now. I'm having a hard time keeping up, but I'm having a blast doing it.
I feel like the exact same way, Billie. I feel the exact same way. The eclipse blasted some things into different places, but
Yeah,
having a blast, rearranging things, and if you can ride the wave, it's fun.
yeah.
The important thing is try not to drown
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the Piscean sea of intensity. Yeah. And here we are right before the fall equinox. What a great time to gather our books and prepare for the cozy fall and winter time to curl up with a good book. And here we have a book that you have written, Our Lives in Between. I was
Mhm.
wondering if you could just tell our audience before we get into your fantastic book, what got you into writing young adult fantasy? What was your journey there?
I've been obsessed with reading and writing, or more reading when I was little, but I was constantly making up stories all the time. And well, that genre seemed to kind of match what was going on in my head all the time. So I think that's pretty much how I gravitated towards that particular genre. Like, I don't think I can write anything like erotica or adult, because I don't think I'm ever going to be a real adult in here, like ever. So yeah, that's how I got into doing that. Ever since I can remember, I've been making up stories. It's just been a natural part of who I am. And I just never really thought about writing any of them down until I got much older. And this one particular story just haunted the heck out of me until I finally burst one day and I started writing it down. And so that's what we have now. We have
Wow.
the first part of it, and it just keeps snowballing. I started with one book, at least that's what I thought, but it was one, to me, it's always been one story. So I started with one, and then it split like an atom or something, or like a cell, it split into two, and then it split into three, and now it's four, I think. So it seems like it's four. And I just follow it. It's part of my I guess it's part of my intuition, maybe. I think like it's just another extension of myself. Like, some people are meant to, read tarot or runes or whatever. They have either clairvoyant, clairsentient. There's so many different versions of it, I think. And for me, I don't know what the term would be. For me, it's writing and this particular story, and it doesn't stop. And I'll just like go into parts of the story all the time, new parts that I didn't even realize were there. And I've lost track of time for a lot, like 10, 15 minutes. And then I'm writing it down. It just kind of, it's part of me, I guess.
It's like clairnarrative, clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairnarrative.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely not something I force
Well,
at all.
it's so interesting your process, Billy. I see a big parallel between what a lot of authors describe as a very intuitive, natural, instinctual process and what,
Yeah.
me and other psychics describe as a natural, intuitive, instinctual process that I'm just, translating what I'm getting here. And a lot of authors, we talk about, I have this idea and I see the whole, if it's nonfiction, the whole group of ideas,
Yeah.
or the whole thing I want to say, or if it's a story, the whole story. And it's sort of already there, sort of semi-autonomous. It's existing outside of, my maybe rational mind, which is very intuitive. That's, it's energy and consciousness and ideas that you're not like logically, creating. It's another part of your mind. So I think there is a really big
Correct.
overlap. And I think you can definitely, I think a lot of authors do channel both fiction and nonfiction. They channel higher consciousness and they channel intuitive messages and expanded awareness through whatever they're writing. So yeah, I totally
Yeah.
can see this being, expression of that realm. That's amazing.
Yeah. I have two different theories. One, it's some sort of channeling or whatever. And then the other part of it is I wonder if I, memorized it before I even came here and carried it down.
Fascinating. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
maybe both.
So tell us about the impetus for this particular novel, Our Lives in Between.
Hmm. I have to be honest, I had to look that word up today. So I was like, impetus. That's not part of my normal vocabulary. I'm not very adult, like I said.
I used
What
a
drew
fancy
so
adult word. I'm sorry.
it's all right, it's all right. No, the thing that drove me to do this, doesn't matter which part of this, that it's a hard thing to explain. Some of it's my kids, my family, it's something that I know I have to follow. Ever since I was younger, I started listening to my guide more. I want to say I was like 11 or 12. And I just started following signs and clues that he gave me all the time, and I never stopped. And it led me to this, and it just leads me to another piece and another piece and another piece. And that's part of it. And there's an excitement in it that I can't quite explain. And the other piece too is my character Harmony. She kind of speaks to me, and other authors I think will understand this. I would think, but so when I first started all this, I was going through a rough time in my life, and while writing this, she it ended up helping me in this way that I didn't see coming. And like this fictional character who isn't real, who doesn't exist, gave me strength, determination, independence. Like she taught me who I am. And so like the thought of giving up on her when she didn't give up on me, I just can't do it. I can't. I almost quit so many times. I would slam my laptop shut and swear and everything, and then her face would just pop into my mind, and I just cannot give up on her.
Wow. It's like you have a relationship with her, almost like a human being.
Yes. All of my characters, I love them like family. When I first thought I was finished, which is kind of really funny now, I cried like a baby for 2 weeks because I was going to miss working with them. I know they're fictional, but you develop such a relationship, like you know them. You know all about how they are. You know, Maggie is, a pain in the butt, and she's, gotta, challenge everything Harmony says. She's gotta, try to prove herself to her. Jared's cracking jokes all the time. He thinks he's hilarious. You know, like I know what to expect from these people because I've worked with them for so long. It's just like any other coworkers, really. You got the ones you like, you got the ones you don't like so much, you know. But in this world, I get to do some interesting little things like I don't know, make them fall off a cliff, or or
Ouch.
like I get to do those things. Just like, please, I don't know if you're familiar with the Sims video game. People remove the pool ladder, you know, because they've had a hard day at work. It makes you feel just a little bit better it's not real, you
Yeah.
know, but it is a therapy too. Like
Yeah.
there's so
Mhm.
much good that comes out of writing, and you don't have to be a professional, but it definitely is therapeutic. And I think that's a lot of why I've stuck with this too.
Well,
Is it
you get to be the master creator and
Yes.
the master architect of this world. As
Yep.
you're talking, I keep thinking of the characters and the characters' consciousness, and I keep thinking of them as doorways. Doorways to what? Doorways to other energies, other interdimensional energies maybe you're in contact with, dimensions of yourself that
Yeah.
you're, therapeutically interacting with, or even just, joyfully playing with other possibilities to, what are they? And it's okay that we don't know, and maybe it's multiple things, but I find the process that you described very fascinating. Your guide is drawing you to these things. The characters are demanding really to be heard. You have a
Yep.
relationship with them and an emotional reaction if you're not able to um, bring them out into the page. I want to read the back of this book for those listening. This is a description on the back of Our Lives in Between by Billie Kowalewski. It had been 5 years since the accident that derailed Veronica's life, which left her suffering from a strange flu-like illness ever since. Thanks to a barrier set in her mind at birth, she can't remember her name is Harmony, and this is not her real life. She has no memory of the many lives she has lived before this one and how several of those lives have been cut short. How she must uncover the reason why those lives had ended so early, and how this moment may hold the key, or she risks losing herself and Earth forever. As Harmony, she wants to uncover the reason why her lives keep ending up so soon. As Veronica, she wonders how much longer she has to live like this. What could possibly be left for her? Little did she know she was about to get her answers. What would you say, Billy, was your favorite part about writing this book? Your favorite part of the writing process for writing this particular book?
Oh, the fighting. I love when they argue. I love when she throws a big old tantrum about something. Um, so like my favorite, I have so many favorites in there, yes, favorite parts, but I loved writing the part with the boat. That I think that's probably my favorite because there's so many little things in it that like there's things in life that happen every day that we don't think too much of, and that particular little part gives like a little reason for some things. Like you say you meet somebody and instantly, when you meet them, they just rub you the wrong way. Well, maybe there's a reason. Like maybe they irritated you before we came down here, and you carry that with you. So that one makes me laugh pretty hard. And then the other part I really liked writing was when she's Lucille. So that part was interesting for me too.
What do you like
Um,
about writing fights? You said that you really like the fights.
I do. I I think I get excited by them or something. It's
Yeah.
I get to I don't know. I think I get my frustrations out that doing that,
Okay, that's
I
great.
guess.
I love it. Yeah. You can't say it to, your boss or your neighbor, but you could say it in the book, man.
Yes, I can.
I love it. Yeah. Um, well, and I can see you, Billy, just really getting lost in it, getting lost in it and getting lost in the unfoldment of the scene and the energy and the emotion of it, and that being a really beautiful, sacred process.
Yes.
So, Billy, I was going to ask you, for listeners tuning in, maybe listeners who are creative writers or who have a book idea or are thinking about feeling like there's a part of them that wants to write. You are a published author, and I admire that greatly. I want to acknowledge it's not easy to actually write a book and, go through the process of publishing it. And I'm wondering, what advice could you give, Billy, to someone who's maybe looking to get started in this field?
I missed that piece of your question. It cut out a little right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Technology. I
I
was
know it's
I was
awesome.
just asking, what advice could you give to aspiring writers who are looking to get started?
Oh my God. So one of my pet peeves that new authors do or new writers is they write one draft and then they skip over everything and they just go to Amazon and publish. Please don't do that. Please don't do that to yourself. Take your novel when you're done writing it. It's probably a really good story, but maybe your writing needs work. Please put it down, take a little break from it, go back, reread. You're going to find mistakes that way. Make sure you don't skip on any editing at all. Do a developmental edit, do the copy edit, do all of it. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy with the results after that. And don't skip on the cover. Like don't skip steps. Like, and and like so many of them are in this hurry to do it because, I mean, maybe some don't care or whatever. Maybe it's not as important to them. But I would think maybe, and I think a lot of them are just saying that, you know, it is important. If you put that much effort into a story, why would you skip on the rest? Then your story never gets seen by anybody. You gotta put a pretty package on it. You gotta, fluff up your writing, get opinions from people. It's important, especially if story like that, it meant something to you. That's what I think.
Great advice. Great advice. We're in an age when it's so easy to self-publish, and the traditional writing, editing, publishing process has been altered greatly. And
Yeah.
it's so important not to throw away the baby with the bathwater, and
Yeah.
do the editing and go through some process so that you're honoring the story and presenting it the best way you can.
Yes.
I love how you are integrating past life paradigms into the plot of this, or shall I say, it unfolded in the story that wanted to come out. And it's for young adults, and it makes me feel good that young adults have books that contain ideas and mystical adventures, and that this is, a place where it's not weird. It's a place where it can be normalized. And I feel for a lot of our young folks who are exploring the mystical, it's so important to have places where they can safely do so. And I see fantasy novels, young adult fantasy novels, urban fantasy, all of those is really cool places to explore that in a creative dimension. Even if
Yeah.
you're not a quote believer, it can be a place to explore these ideas and truths in a fun, story, it's an entertaining story, yet there's wisdom in there. So I just wanted to say that. Billie, where can people get a copy of your book? I know you mentioned, oh, we didn't tell the story about the pandemic.
Oh, yes.
There's a
Okay.
rebirth story with this book. It's a
Yeah,
positive story. So,
everything in life is about rebirth, to be honest. If you just take a look around you, you'll see that. But so I originally published Our Lives in Between as a book called Enlightened. And back in 2020, so I had Enlightened, I had Divided, and I had Awakened. And I was about to do a really big book festival in Tucson, Arizona. And the day before I was scheduled to leave on an airplane, they decided to cancel the festival because of the pandemic. Something was buzzing by my face. So, that knocked me back pretty hard. I'd mailed all my stuff home, and believe me, I was swearing and throwing a big old fit out in Tucson. I went out there anyway because my daughter was out there, and that was the reason I even signed up for the festival at all. I thought that would be a really nice way to go visit my daughter. But so I mailed everything home, and I was really mad, and I was thinking to myself, like, what now? Like, what do I do now? But then I was starting to realize, like, there was this part of me that really wasn't happy with what I had. And I was thinking, well, you know what? Maybe this is my opportunity to rewrite it. And I said to my guide, one more time. That's it. Because I had already written, like, I swear, like 12 drafts, like like so many drafts of that. It's not even funny. But I said, okay, one last try. And I hired a special editor, and he helped me go through it. And I highly recommend getting the developmental editor. I did have one for Enlightened, but that wasn't the best company. And it was through the same self-publishing company that I used. And they were just telling me what I wanted to hear instead of helping me churn out a really good book, which I understand that now, hindsight. It's very important. And I learned a lot, publishing those books, because that one someone else did, and then the other two I did myself. And then so when it came time to do this one, like I already had my ducks in a row pretty much. And for this next one, it's gonna be no different. And I have even more organizing that I'm in the process. I'm already organizing book number 2. So
So
we're just
it was an opportunity to revise it again, but it felt like it
yeah.
was sort of meant to be the final version of this book, and it was an opportunity to rebirth it.
Yeah. When I sat down and went through the book, and I realized there was nothing really wrong with Enlightened. It just had missing pieces.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. But as soon as I put those missing pieces in, it just sang so much better. And same thing with the next 2 books. Yeah, it's gonna be a ride.
The pandemic gave us so many learning opportunities and opportunities for change and growth. And this is a cool example of how you turned lemons into lemonade over here and rode that wave. Billy, tell our audience where they can get a copy of Our Lives in Between. And I believe you said that an audio version is also coming out.
It is. So we just finished recording the audiobook the other day, so it is waiting to be edited. So
Nice.
that'll be available soon, but you can get on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Kobo, Apple, iTunes. It's on everything. And it is on the shelves in a couple of bookstores, but I don't know which ones because they don't tell me that. The only one I do know of is Vivid Volumes bookstore in Mississippi. That one's got painted edges on the books, and like
Oh,
that store is just really pretty, just awesome.
cool. And where can people find out more about you, Billy?
They can go to my website, which is billiekowalewski.com.
Do you want to spell Kowaleski maybe?
Sure, I can do that. So it's Billie, Billie, and my last name is Kowalewski.
Billy, it has been a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. I feel inspired, and I'm inspired by your spiritual writing process and how
Thank you.
you transformed even that downer into the final version and didn't give up. And I really admire that. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming on
you.
the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
All right, take care.
You too.
Let's transition now to the collective messages and tarot cards for the week ahead. Wasn't that an interesting interview? I feel personally inspired to talk about the spirituality of creative writing, and I feel inspired by Billy's journey of perseverance and transformation with her creative baby. And I'm wondering, what effect did that story have on you? Hopefully, it's inspiring you to persevere even against all odds. It's one of the qualities of successful people. Keep going. Success involves some failures. And we can reframe that as success involves the lessons of metamorphosis and transformation. Let's pull a few cards for the week ahead, y'all. It is the week of March 24th, 2025. And confession, that interview was a few months ago. And I'm excited to finally release it today. Check out Billie Kowalewski's website and her books. I am going to tune into the collective energies for this week. As I tune into the collective energies, and you can hear me shuffling the cards, I'm feeling a very complex kind of intricate, interwoven tapestry this week. Mercury's retrograde, and we've got Venus retrograde. So some personal planets are giving us the opportunity to review and reassess in relationships and our relationship with ourselves and in technology and communication. in a lot of different areas. So I feel like the tapestry this week is sort of being unraveled a bit to our benefit, that we're reassessing some thoughts, reassessing some paradigms, and holding them up to the light. Does this allow the light to shine through or not? So I feel like this week we could make progress by move forward by moving backward, and really feeling our own heart energy. I feel like they're pointing out. Tune into your heart this week. The new moon is coming up. It's a great time to plant seeds. And before the new moon, what do I need to release? King of Swords, Page of Swords, Nine of Swords, and Six of Wands comes up. Very swordy. A lot of knives, people. Hopefully I held that up in correct order. We're in the time of Aries. Here comes King of Swords. We've got an authority energy. We've got a kingly energy, kingly, queenly, royal energy, leadership energy. I do feel like there's an energy of perseverance in the air, and along with that complexity and unraveling the complexity, helping to clarify what we can cut away. Swords help us cut away what is not resonating, what no longer serves us. I feel like we're also uh, tuning into confidence and adjusting our mind to what can help us feel more in control, what can help us feel more effective. The challenge this week is not taking things seriously as they unravel a bit or don't go exactly as planned, and reframe that to acknowledge that these are opportunities to understand how to do something better. So if you notice things are kind of not exactly going how you would like them to go, what if they're actually going, they're actually moving in a process that is helpful to you and your highest good, and unfolding the life you want to unfold here on earth by offering you guidance, ideas, frustrations, opportunities for making the change to create an even better way of approaching something or plan, or way to move forward with something. Nine of Swords is our guidance card. I feel like the guidance with the Nine of Swords is better on the other side. It's going to take some time to rebuild various areas collectively, individually. I feel like collectively there is a collective kind of sigh of worry and anxiety and disappointment, perhaps. So I feel like the message here is keep keeping on, keep moving forward, keep aligning yourself with what you know to be true, and trust that it works out in the end. And the ending is part of what your experience is right now. If you can align your heart with the vibration of that which you want to unfold. I'm going to pull a clarifying card, the moon. I feel like there's also, it's for a lot of us, it's an opportunity to revisit the past this week and revisit what we no longer want to take with us. And I'm feeling we're given the opportunity to revisit some attitudes that no longer serve us, some, even if we've been projecting our energies to relationships, friendships, connections with other people in whatever way, professional, personal, that are not the best use of our energy, to be able to, do some soul retrieval, if you will. Take your energy back from the past if it's intertwined there. There's that unraveling of the tapestry, so that you can reweave it to create an even better composition, even better tapestry. I feel like part of it involves connecting with people and making sure that you're surrounding yourself with love. So going back to that heart energy, making sure that you're doing what you can to remind yourself of the eternal love, the love that flows through humanity, the love that flows through all of creation, animal, plant, mineral as well. So let go of the past, connect with love. This can help let go of resentments and forgiveness, forgiving yourself, and doing some soul retrieval, bringing back to you, drawing back your soul and your power to you. If you've allowed your thinking or your feelings, maybe even unconscious, draw your energy away from you. 6 of Wands is the final result. See, in the end, there is victory. This is a card of victory. I feel like this week, it's sort of like the sunshine comes out after the rain, the rainbow comes out with the sun after the rain. And keeping your eye on the prize and not giving up is really important. Like we learned in this interview today, don't give up, even when it looks like, I don't know how this is going to work out with whatever project that you have going on. Make a deal with yourself that you won't give up until you give it your all and feel intuitively, like feel spiritually like that is the right path. But if you're still feeling that heart connection, if you're still tuning in and asking your heart, should I continue? And you get a yes, there's a rainbow after the storm. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. This is the Starseed Oracle. Think about the big picture. Even if things seem chaotic or moving backwards or sideways or what have you today or this week, keep that big picture and that inspiration and that beautiful Pleiadian star energy wisdom in your mind, in your heart. That's one of the most powerful things we can do mentally is back up and look at the big picture. And when we do that, if we're over focused on what's not going well in the moment, it can help us shift our energy into more of a state of flow and reframe and rebuild the perspective of what's happening so that we can see it's what seems like a big deal in the moment isn't in the big picture a lot of the time. Or what seems dire in the moment might seem different when we take a step back and look at the big picture. My beautiful friend, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate the connection. And don't forget to check out my website and other awesome podcasts on mindbodyspirit.fm. And I will look forward to seeing you at the next podcast, video, group, or session. Take care.